So, I'm a crazy guy. In life, I have this tendency to walk into things without fully understanding the gravity of the situation that I'm walking into. I often hyperfixate on an objective without even taking into account the steps that are required for that objective to come to pass. And in this case, it's no different. So with that in mind, 2 months ago, I signed up to be a wedding photographer with zero experience at all shooting weddings, and just like that I was tossed into second shooting and then eventually working my way up to shooting weddings by myself. And in that time I've learned a lot of those steps, of those things that are really important for you to know as somebody shooting a wedding. And here's a list of 8 things that I've learned in the short time that I've been a wedding photographer. Number 1, storage is peace. If there's anything I would recommend to someone who wants to get into wedding photography, is that they invest in a lot of storage. Redundant SD cards, a lot of space in your computer or Mac, a lot of big SD cards. These things give you peace of mind and the ability to back up, to have things set in such a way that files just don't go missing, or you have to work in a way that you have to delete files so you could make new space for new files. That is a recipe for disaster, and I almost ended up on the end of it. Luckily, I was into PC gaming, so I had some storage, but I could see how that would be a problem. Number 2 flows into number 1. Back up everything. Everything that you shoot, as soon as you reach home, you take that and you put that into your computer and you copy it another time. You do not want to end up in a situation where your SD card fails or your hard drive fails or you didn't back it up and you cleared your SD card. I did that. You don't want to be in a situation when you have to explain to someone that, hey, I know your very amazing special day was on a file card that I had, but I forgot to back up my files and it's all gone now. That's a difficult conversation to have. And that happened to me. Not for a whole wedding, just a little piece of it. And I don't think anyone picked up on it because I was second shooting that day. But thank God that I wasn't, and I learned my lesson from then. So from then on, I have always been backing up double, upload it to the drive. Even when it's finished and delivered, still keep a copy of it on your computer for a little while longer, just in case something happens. Number 3, poses. One thing you don't understand going into wedding photography is how difficult it is to on the spot pull up an aesthetic pose to put your bride and groom in. Over the first couple weeks of me doing it, that was the hardest thing for me to do, just to find ways to pose people. And usually I'd be second shooting with someone and I would just see them take the person and then tell them to do this, and then this, and then this, and then this. And that person would have unique poses, unique pictures, and I would be stuck with just having them look like this and smile, and this and smile, and this and smile. Keep your head straight. Poses is what separates you from everyone else. Everyone has your camera, everyone has your lenses. What makes your stuff unique is the poses that you choose and maybe some of the little aesthetic things. But that is really important, and I didn't know that before. So I'd recommend to anyone thinking about doing wedding photography, definitely learn some poses and put your bride and groom in the best position to look their best. Number 4, know your situation. Every wedding is different, and if you're like me, who does not discriminate and does all kinds of different weddings, all kinds of different ceremonies, it is wise to understand what particular situation you're in. Certain churches don't allow you to move around. Certain churches don't allow you to use flash. Some places are so quiet that even the little beep noise on your camera could be really annoying, and you gotta have to learn to not do that, but you still need to be able to document the experience. Knowing what you're walking into will help you better game plan for how you execute on the day. And additionally, know your schedule. Certain weddings may have planners. You go to them, you find out when things are, where they're happening, and have a good relationship with them, and they'll kind of work with you and tell you where to be when, or tell you where things will be, and you will know where to put yourself and position yourself for success. That's one of the best things that I've learned, and pre-prep saves you on the day. Number 5, don't be afraid to take control. I've missed, in my first wedding that I missed a couple of shots because I was too tentative to say, hey, can you slow that down? I want to get some shots of this. Hey, can you redo that kiss? I kind of wanted to get that, so I think you would like it. I think you want me to document this experience for you. And saying it in a loving way, yes, but still just like making yourself like, I want as best as possible to be a fly on the wall. But sometimes I gotta come off the wall and let people know, hey, this would look good. I would like if you did this. And yeah, you'll miss a million shots. You're not Zeus, you're not the Flash, you're not super speed, you're not gonna get everything. So sometimes it's okay to stop and say, hey, can you please do that over? Be a little bit more assertive, but also be appropriate to your situation and know your limits. Number 6, don't let your edits back up on you. I have been in a position where I've shot so many weddings and I have thousands of files on my computer, and now I have to sort through all of them to get however many hundreds of photos for each for a wedding day, and the time's running out and I gotta deliver these photos. Don't wait, don't procrastinate. These things stack up and they are a hell of a pain to do when you have a lot of them stacked up on you. So slowly work towards finishing your pile, but always try to be on top of it, because that is the most suffocating experience, to have a deadline and just be so behind. You don't want to have to experience that. And finally, 35mm is king. For those of you who watched the channel before, you know that I've made a video entitled In Defense of the 50mm, and I love that lens. It's my favorite lens. I only owned that for many years, and then when I wanted to do this professionally, I bought a 35, and then I bought all my other equipment. But in most wedding situations, I could go through an entire day with just a 35 on my camera. 35 just seems to be wide enough for wide shots and telephoto enough to get some compression in the background to make certain photos pop. And looking online, it seems to be a consensus, maybe nothing really is in photography, but full frame equivalent 35 is probably where you want to be for most wedding situations, and it is my go-to lens now when it comes to wedding shooting. So yeah, those are a couple things that I've learned during the couple months that I've been doing this. Maybe stay tuned, there'll be more and I'll learn more, and maybe this list will be superfluous. I really want you guys to engage in the comments. Tell me when I'm right, tell me when I'm wrong. I've only been in this for a little while, but for those of you now starting, this may be a help, and the more experienced among you, maybe you could give me a help in the comments and give us all just insight. So thank you for watching, I appreciate it, and until next time, deuces. Woo!